Going into a final stretch here, and you know that the playoffs are clinched, you know where you guys are going, but how key is this moment of the season with these few games left heading into what's coming?
Yeah, it's a very important phase of the season. Obviously, we're excited that we clinched playoffs, but now it's all about how we prepare for that, and we got some games left. One tonight, where I think the focus is even bigger on us, the way we want to play, really up to our strengths. Obviously, we prepare for the opponent, but it's really important that we dial it in and then that's how you gain confidence. The way we put the effort in, the way we compete, the way we play, that's how we build our confidence, and we want to build that up, obviously, to start the playoff.
How big of a, I don't want to use the word wake up call, but maybe that's it. What happened last game? Pesh was saying, if we're average, we can't be average.
Yeah, we saw that last game. If we think we can go out there and just, not compete, not play to our pace that we play when we have success, yeah, we're just not good. That's how it goes. So definitely a sobering moment last game. So we got to realize that. And like I said, those are big games for us. They're really important in terms of feeling good about our game, winning those games. So yeah, the preparation and how we go out there is really important.
If you scratch that last game, Sheldon said, we're not even going back to that game. Do you guys feel good about where your game is trending towards?
Yes. We had a lot of good stuff going on. I played a lot of good hockey games. So last game was, yeah, that's one we obviously don't want to talk about it, but it happens, and it should be a wake-up call. It should be, a sobering call where you get to realize why it happened, and then go with the right mindset onto those games that we have ahead of us.
Playoffs are clinched now, so how important does this stretch here before the start really become for you guys when it's about your own game? I know it always is important, but to go into that.
Yeah, definitely. It's obviously the focus is on ourselves and on playing the right way, playing, the way that we know we're capable of and what we know, like doing what we know makes us successful. So yeah, it's huge to get our game right, and I don't think it's just a flip that you can switch on and off. Like we got to stay on and locked in.
And what does that kind of look like for you guys over this stretch? Sheldon was saying we're not even going back to our last game. We're not talking about it. We're not doing anything about it. Where have you seen the team game sort of projecting at this moment?
Yeah, I think I'd love to answer that after tonight. Because obviously, as much as the coaches didn't look at it and hammer us with how we played. We know as players that we're not happy with our performance last game. A lot of things that we want to kind of right the ship tonight. So I'd love to answer that question.
No, that makes complete sense. I totally get that. But then when it comes to where you guys are building towards, like what does it have to look like for you guys over this stretch? I mean, basically a week left.
Yeah, I think playing fast, playing predictable, playing on the same page. There's a lot of things in our neutral zone, quick ups, and kind of staying on top of teams, not letting them off the hook.
Right.
I know I'm just thinking of things as defensemen breaking pucks out clean, and when maybe there's not a clean breakout, gaining some territory, like flicking in the middle, and just getting pucks moving up ice, and making the game hard on the other team. I'm just thinking about my own personal responsibilities as a D-man, kind of holding our offensive blue line, our defensive blue line, holding it, not letting them get clean entries. So a lot of things, there's a lot of details that, we want to make sure they're front of mind the next few games, and, hopefully at this point in the year they're habit, but yeah, we want them front of mind for sure going into tonight.
How much has Dumos sort of helped settle things down in terms of defense particularly? I know it's been a while since we've had Siegs in the lineup, but just how much has he really helped?
Yeah, he's awesome, and he's a guy who's obviously won 2 cups. He's played a lot of playoff games. You can just tell how much experience he has because, when the game might be going up and down or, the teams, might be – the team's performance may be going up and down. He's very calm and level-headed. and that's something that's been great for me to see, and obviously he's staying calm. He still takes it very serious. It's not like he doesn't care. He still cares, but he's not kind of riding those emotional like highs and lows. He's staying pretty level-headed, and obviously I'm sure that comes with experience. But if I can learn from him and maybe get there at one point sooner, it would be great. So he's awesome.
What are you guys proud of having clinched this playoff spot? I mean, I know it's been so up and down, but this is sort of, the next check mark. Sheldon has talked so much about reaching different benchmarks through the season.
Yeah, I think obviously we're pumped. I wasn't here last year, but I know the team didn't make playoffs last year. They did the year before. So playoffs are something that, this is my third year. It's my first time clinching. So I know it's not an easy thing to do. Half the teams aren't going to do it. So it is definitely something we should be proud of, a check mark. And we obviously aren't getting complacent. Like, we're not feeling great, like riding in our high horse just because we clinched, But it is definitely something that we've put a lot of work to get to this position. It's a long season, 82 games, and we've done a good job to clinch, So that is something that, we should be proud of, but we're obviously have our sights set forward, so we're not, going to be stuck patting ourselves on the back or anything.
Thanks. Sheldon, just talking to some of the guys, really focusing in on how important this stretch is right now, just knowing what you're building towards, right? Like, this is a key moment here of how you guys are going to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to describe it as such. I don't know, if they would recognize the same level of urgency. I mean, you're at the point of the season where, especially for us, when you can't go up, can't go down, you know who you're playing. You're sort of in let's get on with it type of mode. But we do have time, and especially coming off of our last game, there's lots of reasons for us to respond and have our game feeling good and utilize the time in a productive manner. So we'll try to keep the guys focused in on that. But obviously, we're looking bigger picture, and got to keep that real as well. But as I say, coming out of last game, that certainly is not it, and we need to respond in kind.
What is that mental challenge like for a group in your experience, if you've been in this position?
Yeah, it is tough. It's because you have to play the games and you want to get through them, and you want to feel good about your game coming out of it. So that really is the priority, is to feel good about our game and to come out of it healthy. Like, that's the focus, and that's what the players want too. They want to be healthy and they want to be feeling good. So we got to find a way to do that and balance it with the fact that we need to push and build our game to the point that it's ready to compete, in playoff hockey.
When Jack and Dougie went down with their injuries, the power play struggled a bit there for a stretch. Now it's very much back. Why?
I mean, I went 2 for 2 in the first game we played without those guys in Dallas, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think there's some recalibrating there, and you're kind of figuring some things out and all of that. But yeah, I think the guys have done a good job. They've executed very well. I think we were fortunate to have talented people that could step in, and obviously we sort of rejigged the whole look with losing Jack specifically. Even before Dougie had gotten injured, Luke was going to be on that first group, and he was going to be working there, and Mercer was going to be in that spot, so he could pair with Bratter on the entry, and we thought that was really valuable and important. And then obviously it becomes a little more Timo-centric in terms of him being a trigger guy to be a finisher on the other side. So all those sort of things have come together, and obviously it's going to be a critical piece, and want to continue to build positive momentum that way.
What have you seen? I know we've spoken about him a lot, but Bratt and how he's changed his game to be such much more of a dynamic player now than he was when you first came in.
I mean, I don't know. I think Bratter's been a good player in the league. I don't know how much of it is new this year. You guys have got a greater sample on that than I, but he's been just so important and valuable to our team in all regards, right? Obviously, similar to Nico in the sense that he does a lot of work on our penalty killing. He's a key piece there. Obviously, power play work, and most times now, especially with Jack being out, he's more of a focal point, and that hasn't slowed him down. When I say focal point, I'm talking about the opposition. It's like he's a guy that they're going to obviously key on even more so with not having Jack in. And he's managed that well. And I took credit to him being resilient, being mentally tough. And I think all of that, as we've said a number of times, is built off the ice. I think how he prepares and how consistent he is in his habits and his routines that set him up for success every day. That combined with the talent, it's a great recipe for sustainable success.
I know I've asked you about Daniel Sprong a couple of times. When we last talked about him on Monday, you mentioned that he was holding the puck well, things that maybe could shoot it even more, play make even more. Did a lot of that on Tuesday. Is that more of what you want to see from him, like shooting the puck from different angles and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want him to take bad shots, with nobody around the net or anything like that. But when we've got a presence there and he's got a good line, he's certainly, when he's inside the dots, he's got to fire and get it there. So, yeah, that's the next piece, and it's interesting how it all works out, right? You bring him in, he's a high guy, has got a history of scoring a lot, but having a lot of other flaws in his game. I think he's actually done really well in a lot of the details of the game, both offensively and defensively, and the puck hasn't gone in for him. So that's the next piece. If there's anything for him to sort of embrace this final stretch, is to keep that mindset of being really good in the details of the game, but push to make a difference offensively, and have that be the separator.
Outside of winning, do you do anything special in these remaining games that maybe you won't want to tell us, but to get ready for the playoffs?
Why would I answer a question I don't want to tell you?
I knew you'd like that.
I mean, as I said, the number one thing for us is to feel good about our game and have really good habits and details and structure. Do all that in a competitive environment and push ourselves that way. And most importantly, get out of the games healthy and feeling good. We'd like to think if we do that, then we're going to win our share here, and the results will take care of themselves. But now more than ever, we're focused on our game and just, utilizing our bench and keeping the minutes within reason for our top guys. But as I say, you still got to do so in a competitive environment and have really good habits and details, and that's the focus.
Coach, can you enlighten us on who your starting goalie might be tonight?
Jake Allen tonight. Yeah.